We have people in this valley who are already being the change, not just talking about it. And that includes our co-host this afternoon, the incredible Edible Todmorden. So I hope this afternoon will leave you feeling not just more knowledgeable, but also leave you feeling really inspired. So to kick off with our first speaker, Mary Claire describes herself as a dreamer and a schemer. In reality, her scheming has been so effective that it's earned her an MBE. She is chair and co-founder of the incredible Edible Todmorden, an idea that has taken root across the world. That idea is kindness, using food and growing as the lever. I'll pass you over to Mary now.
Oh, thanks. That's a very elaborate introduction, so I hope I don't disappoint. I'm going to share the screen, okay? In 2008, all of us woke up to the devilment of the bankers and what they'd really been up to in a worldwide economic crash. And things were a bit tough in this town, and a group of us got together and thought, what can we do that would be beneficial for our town, beneficial for our children and our children's children, because so many of us grew up in a time where there were 1,000 more species of animals, birds and insects, where there was a decent education, free university education. You could dream of owning your own house and you wouldn't be laughed at. There was full employment. There was so much, there was no such thing as bloody student loans. So we were worried about where were we going? Where was the planet going? Where were politics going? It was a big mess. So we thought, we're going to do something. You know, you can sit and moan and whinge, demonstrate, or you can do something. And we're going to do something, and we're going to use the skills of the community. And we're going to use food and growing as a lever to reconnect people with each other, with the planet, with the soil, with the birds, with the bees, with the seasons. We're going to grow food in public places, not to feed a town, not to replace a supermarket, but to demonstrate, if we can do it, you can do it. And also, strangers are growing all this stuff and anybody can have it. That's absolutely kindness personified. And we were also slightly conscious of, there's a lot of bull in the world, there's a lot of academics, there's a lot of talking, there's a lot of consultation and feet dragging and worry and fear and jostling for position and power. And we thought, I nearly swore, blow it. And we're just going to crack on. We're going to ask for forgiveness, because, you know, often it's better than hanging about asking for permission. Because if you start asking permission to grow food on the side of the road on a busy street, you could still be here today waiting for it. So we thought we'll miss that bit. We really love the magic of words, and this is our word. We adore this word. Come to Todmorden. Feel kindness in this town. I am lucky enough to live, I am sure, in one of the kindest towns in the world. So the power of words, the power of images and simplicity is very important to us, but not as important as this, the power of the table. About 5 years ago, we thought we need to increase the amount of people that are coming out twice a month to fix up town. And once we started providing a really simple, plain meal, we found ourselves in a position of having to cook 50 meals on a Sunday. So then you had a gardening team, a cooking team, a table laying team. But truly, trust me, food is the glue. We're primitive tribal animals. We're still those animals. We're still those people that want to sit round with our tribe and eat, because it's been there forever and it will be there in the future. The power of the table for bringing people together. So I'm just going to show you a bit of our carry on. This was our lovely police station. This is like it is now. But the main thing is we do like naughty but nice. And we do like a tiny little risky element in our work. And we grow things, not because we're gardeners, not because we're horticulturalists, not because we're clever, because we think it's funny. So we grow corn, because it's cop corn, we think that's funny. Last year, we grew fuchsias because we heard the berries are edible. Frankly, they taste like yuck. We love benches. We really love benches. And what we hate is the actions of successive governments. Successive governments in the last 20 years have removed benches out of, first of all, the public purse is a bit tight, but the main driving reason to remove benches in the public realm is the fear of people gathering, the fear of people sleeping, the fear of people drinking, smoking a joint, being together. Well, what's the pandemic shown us? We need outdoor public space. And please look at this photograph very carefully. Everyone's smirking. They're smirking for a legitimate reason. The police have just carried this bench and put it into position. And so in our minds, that bench is legal. Because I just want to say something else about benches. You could send a rocket to the moon easier than you could make a bench in the public realm. You have to go to the council, to planning permission, to engineers, planners, safety people. Anyway, you'll be dead. You just need a little bag of quick setting cement and crack on, really. Because we don't take public money, we're self-sufficient, we don't have any boxes to tick about inclusion, and we believe that we're so lucky to have recovery people in our town actively working to help drug and alcohol users or any problem with substances, that they're part of our community and they've got great skills and ideas to help us. So it's important for us to work with them. We love to exploit children. At any opportunity, we'll exploit them because their little tiny fingers, honestly, they're like locusts. When it comes to picking up cigarette ends or rubbish, children are brilliant. And if anyone says to you, I've got a problem getting volunteers, they need to look in the mirror, because the problem isn't getting volunteers, the problem is managing them. You know, that's our biggest problem. How do you get a job done with people standing on the soil? People not wearing proper boots? How do you get the job done? Well, somehow, miraculously, we do manage to get a job done in total chaos. We really love the idea of providing opportunities. This man would have rather loaded his lorry with hay, straw, whatever the yellow stuff is, himself. But no, 6 little men wanted to do it with him. Those guys had never felt the weight of straw, never sat on straw, never loaded a lorry. And those experiences, let me tell you, I know about children and I know about life. Those little boys will remember that sunny day forever. So will the lorry driver. He won't bring it again, most probably, but never mind. This is our health centre. It's one of those rip-off PFI, brand new things, planted with prickly architect's plants, which have been removed in the early days and replanted with apples, plums, pears. And to this day, it's still maintained pretty decently, not as best as it could be, but to this day, people can still be seen in the summer picking and harvesting, which is really lovely. And this is, I love this picture of an apple tree because it's growing in about 6 or 8 inches maximum of soil. The rest is compacted builder rubble. Things do change, and that is so important to remember. This is outside the Golden Lion pub. Geek, the landlady, is one of our committee members, and her dad was lonely. So I rang the council and said, could you bring a digger and take out the hedge so we can build a Thai garden? And they said, oh yeah, we'll be there in a few days. Now imagine that 12 years ago. Can you remove a hedge so we can build a garden for a Thai man so he doesn't feel lonely? Things do change for the better. And this is a nice picture because it's the same garden. And there are 2 kinds of people in the world, people who see horrible things and people who see beauty. I see beauty, but look at the back. Look at that lamppost. You could say, look at that rotten, neglected public realm. So if you see rotten, neglected public realm, what we like to do is just put a little diffuser there and put some beauty. I'm showing you fennel because it was advised never to grow fennel because it's big, it spreads everywhere and it's useless. So it's a great reason to grow it. This is right in the heart of Todmorden, Pollination Street. It's a land that's been up for sale for 12 years. It's so beautiful. We've got a beautiful garden there. So this is to say we're self-sufficient. In the beginning, when Incredible Edibles started, there were all sorts of people with all sorts of ideas who played to their skills. Our skill is being frugal, working with people and being self-sufficient, because we've made, 5 years ago, we made a kind of agreement that we would not take public money. Any money we got, we would earn it ourselves. And we do that through vegetable tourism. So people book a tour and the rules are, if you've got money, pay. If you haven't got money, please, you're welcome anyway. And this is to say that idea of growing stuff in public places has spread. All sorts of people are doing it differently. And we've got a nice partnership going with some people in Japan. And why do we bother as well? We do it because it brings money, it brings visitors. So we can count up the visitors. This isn't 1 year, this is about 3 or 4 years. And if those visitors go in Airbnb, they buy a coffee, ka-ching, £2.60. They buy a loaf of bread. They do stuff in community. Those tiny, tiny spends help community. And we're not just about vegetables. In fact, we're not even that interested in vegetables. We're interested in our town, in our community, in the public realm, in how far can we improve the situation of one small market town. So like here, we've made a big guy because there's a street where nobody goes down, and we thought, well, maybe they'll go and look at the big guy. We've really, our hand on heart can say, experts at very little except simple pleasures. And we've learned over time, it's not the fancy that we humans want, it's the simple. These are people queuing for bread and jam because we love the power of the triangle. Wherever you go in this country, if you see a triangle, you think, wow, something's happening. And you can get anybody to make bunting out of anything. What we like is nothing fancy and nothing wasted. To put on events that are really so simple, anybody could do it. For our 10th birthday, we decided we'd feed 1,000 people on waste food at the Peace Hall. So I'm not exactly sure they know they're queuing to eat intercepted waste food, but anyway, they did. If you can't garden, you can't paint things, maybe you could knit things, bollards. Isn't it weird what people will take a selfie at? Isn't it strange that those tiny movements into the public realm, our public realm, we the citizens control our streets. And if we want to knit little jumpers for them, we can. The other thing we're very, very keen on, fix stuff that needs it. Don't frigging moan for years and years and write letters to councillors, to Europe, to whoever. Just crack on and fix it. And when you've fixed it, because it might be a bit dodgy, just get the mayor with a pound pair of scissors to cut a red ribbon, and then it's legal. We've got 3 of these notice boards. Welcome to Todmorden. I'm not blaming Calderdale, the town council. I'm not blaming anybody. The public purse has been squeezed to death. I'm saying, if you can fix something, fix it. Because we commissioned the maps, screwed them in. Nobody's ever wrote and said, why did you fix the maps? Why did you fix the signs? Because we're citizens and we can do it. Look at our new beds at the police station. It's win-win. You know, the police are happy, the kids are happy, we're happy. It's nothing fancy or clever. It is simply ordinary citizens activated, being the change and kindness. I'm very proud of this. This is one Helena painted. This is, during lockdown, we decided that we would, never mind growing food, what about growing minds? We'll create little libraries. And by the end of this month, there'll be 20 little libraries. Now, you could have taken opposite view. Oh my God, it's spreading germs, COVID. It might fall on someone. Someone might get access to pornography or violent novels. You know, there's a million reasons not to do anything. but just see joy and goodness and crack on. We've got a relationship with the Real Junk Food Project, and the people of Todmorden, I'm so proud of this, they pay on standing orders and food is delivered once a week to Todmorden. We have 80 boxes, and that money that's paid for goes to build the infrastructure and pay for the transport to intercept food that was designed for landfill. If you don't take public money, you don't have any paperwork. There's no boxes to tick about inclusion, race, religion, ability. So we have to be our own people and reach out to what we believe is right. And we have a great working relationship with our mosque. And I am proud, really proud. It's the only mosque in the whole wide world that says kindness above the door of the mosque. And you've got to be creative. Not say, oh, they don't come gardening, so why should we do anything? We do we cook pancakes every year for the market traders race. So last year we cooked pancakes and, well, in fact, the imam came and cooked pakoras. You've got to use your brain and think, how can we reach out to people? This is our cricket club. Again, it's the only cricket club in the country that says kindness. You might think that's a little thing. Honestly, to me, that's such a big thing, because that image of that cricket club is remembered. People talk, what is it about this valley? What are these people doing? It says kindness where it should say tractors or fags or something that they normally say. We don't have, oh, what are your skills? Sign up, join up. Anybody can do it because people have power. We've sleepwalked into this situation where we believe the public realm, who is that public? Oh, it must be someone else. It's not us. It is us. We have power. We have power to change how we live in private, and we have power to change the public realm. We've just got to be brave and do it. So there is no office. We've no office, we've no filing cabinets, we've no stamps, we've no box files. We've got 2 crappy iPads, see the crack on mine. You don't need those things. We've been led a song and dance that to do good in the world, we need to create an empire, we need property, we need staff, we need stuff, we need fancy websites and leaflets. We don't. We need to engage the good heart of good people. So I'd like to say, in a trumped up world, we've absolutely become numb to the negative. There is so much shit coming at us day in, day out from the radio. Who do we believe? Do we have respect for government messages? No, we don't. And who are the experts? I tell you what now, I have no idea who they are. But I know this. I know the power of small actions, of tiny, tiny actions, and keeping going has done it for us. Because kindness is our goal. And I want to say something about social media when people talk about the evil of it. This is several years ago. The day before gardening, which is done on a Sunday, someone sent an email that said, we've got a container going from Rochdale to Aleppo. So I put that on our website. And when we went up to collect our tools, there was just piles of people coming up the drive with tents and sleeping bags. Social media and Facebook, wow, they can, when you talk about activism, they're the activists' absolute tool. This is just to show you, I was looking for a good slide, and this was in an old presentation, 2017, for some computery nerdy people in York. And they said, oh, can you include your goals for the future? So this was 2017. Keep on having fun, use resources wisely, think about water, and be mindful of the power of beauty. And I looked at that and I thought, wow, that is such a great challenge, and nothing's changed. I don't believe, we don't say, how can we be bigger, better, involve more people? We just keep on keeping on. So I think I really am proud of that as a challenge. And it's as good today as it was in 2017. So I'll leave you with top tips for activists. I think to dream big, because look at the college. You could have, look at the community college in Todmorden. You could have thought, oh, a nice little modern, easy building. No, a beautiful 1950s smack in the middle of town, as big as you can get, and with all sorts of opposition and all the winds blowing against you. But if you have a dream, you need to dream it big. So we could have said, let's feed 300 people at the Peace Hall. But if you say, let's feed 1,000 and you screw up and you only feed 300, well, that's okay. So I think it's better to dream bigger about stuff. Eating together, I think, and I'm really pleased to hear that the college is thinking hard about this, because food is the glue. And I don't care what scientist in the world says otherwise, because I've seen it with my eyes. People will come together around food. Keeping meetings and documents short. The world is full of bloody wafflers. It's full of people who like to write reams and reams of boring stuff with no pictures. As long as I'm alive, I just think, keep meetings and documents as short as possible. And then you won't be scratching your head going, how is it we find it so difficult to attract people to our organisation? Because you're boring. That was what I would say. Keep it short and keep it lovely, and put joy on the top of the agenda. Nobody, I can hand on heart say, would say our meetings, if you ever want to come and have a little taste and you get good food, come to one of our meetings. They're open to anyone, because it's about joy. It's a pleasure to go and meet with your colleagues and talk about what we're going to do or what needs to be done. Isn't it strange that 3 years is the magic number? If you get a lottery grant, 3 years. If you get any kind of grant, 3 years. 3 years? What? That's a joke. If we want culture change, if we want trust, if we want to embed an idea in a community, we have to be in it for the long game. And the other thing I want to say is about, what's that thing called? Spreadsheets. I don't know how to work them. I hate them. But we have a secretary who does know how to work them, and everything is scheduled a year in advance. And we all know where we are. It's brilliant. So I'm a convert. I should get money from spreadsheet companies because I love them. And that's it. So come for a tour if you want, when the weather's good.
Thank you so much, Mary. Looking in the comments, we've had words like inspirational.
Was it on time though and fast?
It was a little bit over, but that's all right, because you added so much joy, and that's just such an important thing. So thank you very much. Do read back in the comments. Somebody's calling for you to be PM, and there's a lot of support for that, but I don't know if that's where you're at.
No, not.
So, thank you very much.